Section number 17 of Narratives of Colored Americans. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Avni Bhargav. Narratives of Colored Americans by Abigail Mott and M.S. Wood. Uncle Jack. He was a remarkable African slave of Virginia. It is probable he was brought to James River in the last slave ship that brought slaves to that state. Such was the regard in which he was held that on the death of his master several benevolent persons subscribed a sufficient sum to purchase his freedom. Uncle Jack's talents were of high order and his knowledge of human nature very remarkable. Dr. Rice of Richmond said of him, "The old man's acquaintance with the Scriptures is wonderful. Many of his interpretations of obscure passages are singularly just and striking. He spoke pure English. A few anecdotes will convey a good idea of his ready and apt mode of illustration. A person addicted to horse racing and card playing stopped Uncle Jack on the road and said, 'Old man, you Christians say a great deal about the way to heaven being narrow. Now, if this is so, a great many who profess to be traveling it will not find it half wide enough.' 'That's very true,' was the reply, 'of all that have merely a name to live, and all like you.' 'Why refer to me?' said the man. 'If the road is wide enough for any, it is for me.' 'By no means,' said Uncle Jack. 'You will want to take along a card table or a race horse or two. Now there's no room along this way for such things.' A man who prided himself on his morality said to Uncle Jack, 'Old man, I am as good as I need to be. I can't help thinking so, because God blesses me as much as he does you Christians, and I don't know what more I want than he gives me.' To this the old preacher replied with great seriousness, 'Just so with the hogs. I have often looked at them rooting among the leaves in the woods, and finding just as many acorns as they needed, and yet I never saw one of them look up to the tree from whence the acorns fell.' On one occasion some unruly persons undertook to arrest and whip him, and also several of his hearers, for holding religious meetings. After the arrest, one of the men thus accosted Uncle Jack, 'Well, old fellow, you are the ringleader of these meetings, and we have been anxious to catch you. Now what have you to say for yourself?' 'Nothing at all, master,' was the reply. 'What! Nothing to say against being whipped? How is that?' 'I have been wondering a long time,' said the old Christian, 'how it was that so good a man as the Apostle Paul should have been whipped 3 times for preaching the gospel, while such an unworthy man as I am should have been permitted to preach 20 years without getting a lick.' The young men immediately released him. Uncle Jack died in 1843, aged 100 years. From Blake's Biographical Dictionary. End of section number 17.